Everybody be quiet. Shh. Quiet. Quiet. Yo, what's up? It's your boy Leo Flowers. And I love this book. First of all, we're talking about Susan Cain. Look at her. Look at this girl. Look at that. She's cute. Beautiful little something. She's married. I got a girlfriend, so it's not gonna work out. But um New York Times bestseller, Susan Cain, Quiet, The Power of Introverts in a World That Can't Stop Talking. First of all, I just want to address the fact that she calls people who talk too much speech terrorists. I love that phrase. That's exactly how I feel. Like I'm just there having a quiet, intimate conversation with somebody. And here comes an extrovert, just blah blah, just bombing me with their small talk. That's what it feels like. I just walked on an IED. You know what I mean? That's what it feels like. You speech terrorists out there, people who just jump in and start blabbing. You know those people. Some of you dating them, married to them, they just come home and immediately start dumping everything on you, or as soon as they call you, they don't even ask you how you doing. They just blah, 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 blah. You be like arms, head, everything popping off, falling all over the place. And I'm like, take me to your leader because we can't have this anymore. But she calls them speak. That has nothing really. Listen, if you haven't read the book, now last week I did the power of the introverts or whatever. I'm on the whole introvert thing because I'm an introvert, for the most part. You guys are like, man, but you do videos and you do stand up and you do public speaking and you used to teach and counsel and all these things. How are you an introvert? Well, that's a great question, and that goes to the free trait theory that she talks about in this book. And the free trait theory says that we basically become what we have to be for the moment. Wait, that was a horrible explanation. But basically, for the most part, I'm an introvert. But because I'm so passionate about books and the things that I talk about on my stand-up and things that I teach, that um, don't I know that the only way for me to get it out is to talk to people and to be public. And so in that case, yes, I'm very much an extra. I come off with I have an extrovert tendency or trait in there. But as soon as I'm off stage, as soon as like I hit this stop button, I don't want to talk to none of you. I really don't want to make eye contact or you know. It was funny because there's a professor in here who does a lot of public speaking, and he says as soon as he gets off stage, so many people want to like rush up to him and talk to him, and he hides in the bathroom until like the whole ceremony is over, so he doesn't have to talk to anybody. Which is funny because I used to do that when I was younger. I would just like hide in the bathroom or wherever because I was like I don't want to talk to anybody. But when you're a kid, people think you're stuck up when you don't really talk. Either you're shy or you're stuck up, like, oh, you don't talk to nobody. And it's like, really, I like being in my head most. I like what's going on up there. Sorry, it's not really about you. It's just about I enjoy little thoughts and visions and stuff and ideas I got floating around up there. You have to get this book. Let's get into it. Let's see what she talks about. Some of the things, let's talk about three, 5, 7, 8, 12 things I learned from the book, right? One, and this is a big one for me, especially for people who are trying to lose weight. She says that dopamine, um, okay, hold on, let me go back. Anticipating any reward makes you act more rashly. Because what happens is dopamine gets released when you anticipate a reward, and then you want anything that'll fill that, and you're like, why is that a big deal? Think about it. Like this is why like people eat so much when they watch TV or movies or like when they talk about emotional eaters. It's because they're anticipating a reward, whether it's going to be, oh, my show is on tonight, or that movie comes out this weekend, or there's a party Friday, or I hope she calls. We're anticipating all these rewards, and that excitement makes us want to seek an immediate reward, which for a lot of people usually becomes food or drugs or what have you. So, the thing is to learn how to manage your emotions and kind of shield yourself from those things that amp you up. I mean, if you have to, that's why I like watching movies on Netflix because they don't have the commercials. And it's those commercials of food and burgers and partying and drinking. It's that kind of thing. You go, man, that really would be dope to be on the beach drinking a couple beers with some girls in bikinis. And you weren't even thinking about it, but now you saw the commercial, you're like, yeah, now I want it, and you go, but it's 9 o'clock at night and I can't. So then you just eat. Now it's created a need in you, a want, and now you got to fill it with something else. I mean, not everybody goes through that process, but I know for me, that taps into it definitely. Or even the days. I know it's like Thursday is usually the day I watch TV. Me and my girl will watch Scandal. That's our show, and I just noticed I want to eat more during the day because I'm excited. I'm like, because me and my girl don't watch really TV together, except that show. So I'm excited like when we get that time together because we're both so busy. But anticipation releases dopamine, and then it makes you so if you have to put the blinders on. That's why some people study and they go to libraries and they find a little cubicles and they turn their head because then you see a cute girl walking by and you're like, damn, I want that, and then if you can't get that, then you gotta find something else. You know what I mean? All right, so I thought that was dope, and that's really not an introvert extrovert thing. That's that's a people thing, but you just learn about people in this. Another thing she talked about is I think as an introvert. First of all, let me explain what an introvert is. As an introvert, we don't like a lot of stimulation. We don't like a lot of noise, a lot of chatter, clutter. We like things quiet, simple. We prefer intimacy compared to large groups. We're not afraid of people, right? It's just that we prefer a one-on-one conversation as opposed to 10 or 20 people. We're not reward seeking. Like we do things out of love. Like I'm not getting paid to do this. I really love books and I love talking about the books that I read and sharing it with you guys. And I really love I really love when my reward is when you guys go, yo, I got the book and I loved it. So for that, I'm really not seeking a financial gain out of this. It's more about, I just want to share something I love with you. Whereas extroverts are more reward seeking, And so in the book she was talking about in terms of leadership, we usually tend to elect charismatic leaders. Like, I live in LA, we got Mayor Antonio Vergosa, which, he got elected mostly off his charisma. I mean, you love to hear the man talk and speak and his ideas, and he really knows how to move a crowd. Barack Obama, his very charismatic also. A lot of our leaders get elected not usually based on merit. I mean, there's always some merit and some substance there, but you really have to be. We really love charismatic, like Bill Clinton. We love charismatic leaders and people who can tell stories and people who know how to move us with words. And the book talks about how when you look at companies, it's not the person who has the most charisma that makes the best leaders. I forgot what she said, what the quality was. It's not charisma, but it's the quiet people, the introverts who do the behind the scenes stuff. Like Steve Jobs, if you look at him, really he wasn't charismatic when you think of, like, he wasn't a great orator or a great presenter. Even if you look at his slides, they were very simple. He came out, he showed you the iPad, showed you some cool things it could do, but it wasn't grandiose by any means. So it's not the people who always talk the loudest that make the great leaders. Not to say that they make bad leaders. You want both. You want an introvert and an extrovert. You want the extrovert who's willing to take the chances and take a risk, but you need the introvert who will weigh the chances and the risk and kind of, keep it even level-headed. The thing I love about the book, okay, let's get into the book, is that for introverts and extroverts, because a lot of extroverts marry introverts or date introverts because they like that they listen. As introverts, we listen and we absorb and we take in and we reflect and think and give back. And extroverts just, So a lot of extroverts like to date introverts, but what happens is that extroverts then hate that introverts don't really talk that much. when really that was the thing that they liked about us in the beginning. And then introverts hate that extroverts talk so much and are so social and always want to go out and blah blah blah. And so the book helps you, teaches you how to navigate that and how to find like a middle ground of, you know, how to meet the introverts needs and the extroverts needs. And like me and my girlfriend are both introverts, so a lot of times I'm home and she don't even know I'm here, or she's home and I don't even know she's here, because we're both like, we come in, we're very quiet. Hey, how's everything okay? I mean, of course we have our extroverted moments, but you know, for the most part, you know, there's not like a lot of, we don't bang stuff around or slam doors or anything like that. We're very like, you know. Um, but at the same time, for my introverts out there, you do need to learn how to play the social game, because this is America, and it is a lot of handshaking and networking, and a lot of face-to-face contact, and that's when you really build intimacy and connections with people, and how you get promoted. So that doesn't mean that you don't take classes on it or you don't work on that extroverted skill. You know, don't become complacent and be like, oh, I'm an introvert, so that's why I don't talk to people or whatever. No, you should still, I mean, don't overextend yourself, but be working on it and be aware of it, and you know, be willing to meet them halfway and get out of your comfort zone every now and again. Because, you know, for an introvert, you could become too introverted and then you're shut off from what's going on in society. You don't know what's going on out there. And then the extroverts, they become too extroverted, and then they don't take time to reflect on themselves and their lives and where they're going and what direction they're headed in, and getting some clarity on their future. The book gets, I struggled with rating this book. Wait, let me go over a few more things out the book. The hours you spend by yourself practicing determine good to great, which is another great point. A lot of companies, and especially school systems, everything is group oriented, when really a lot of the great ideas come from working by yourself. You know, I have friends who write for TV shows, and they don't stay in a group the whole day and come up with ideas. They go off by themselves, come up with their own ideas, and then they come together and hash the ideas out and kind of refine it. So the whole group team, we got to do this together at the same time, that doesn't really work. It's better for you to go off in your little cubby hole or cave, or under your shell or whatever, wherever you go, and put your brain on it, and then come back and share your ideas with the group, and then see what you got there. I thought that was really dope. A lot of you guys who are feeling burnt out with work or even in a relationship, most of the time it's because you're putting on a false you. You're not really being you. There are a lot of introverts acting like extroverts out there. You acting, hey, they like, man, that dude's always smiling. He just, but then there's extroverts who might be acting like introverts, you know, vice versa. So a lot of times when we get burnt out on a job, it's because we're suppressing who we are. And especially, I think a lot of people do that in relationships, where in the beginning you just want to act like everything's great and you know, no problems and blah blah blah, and then after a while, you know, you can only hold back what you think and how you feel for so long before it has to come out. And if it doesn't come out, then then you burn out. If you don't get it out, you burn out. It's kind of like, you know, you think about a flame, right? And if you smother the flame, eventually it runs out of oxygen, and then it just burns out, you know. So it's the same thing. You have this fire in you that you're not letting go. You're not letting it burn, and you've got this lid on it, and you need to just let that go so you don't burn out, right? I thought that was dope. Agreeableness, friendship, core personal projects, hits don't bite. I think that's it. I think that's all I want to cover out of this burnout. She has a lot. Let's look at what are the chapters? The rise of the mighty lack of the myth of the charismatic leadership, right? When collaboration kills creativity. We talked about that. It's temperament, destiny, nature versus nurture. She talks about that, and temperament. You know, nature versus nurture, it all works together. Obviously, I think we at this point we know that it's 50-50, right? It's like you're born with a certain temperament. They found that in babies. Um, that's too much. We're already at 15 minutes. It was too long. Get the book. Quiet by Susan Cain, The Power of Introverts in a World That Can't Stop Talking. I'm your boy Leo Flowers, and I just taped something for Stars. The Stars Network is going to air in September. I actually taped 2 DVDs, and I'm hosting on. Be Leo Flowers. I think it's going to be called Stand Up on Stars in September. So keep your eyes out for that. Doing big things. Peace.